everyone, hi, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some very weird things that are illegal in Germany. Over the past few years of living here, I've come up with a bunch of different things that are apparently illegal to do in this country, and when people first told me these things, I just thought that they were joking. I thought they were messing with me because some of them are just totally ridiculous. And yeah, today I'm just going to be talking about those things and giving my opinions on them. So if you would like to hear what I have to say about the weird things that are illegal in Germany, keep watching. All right, so I'm gonna start off with one that I think is really, really weird, and that is it is illegal to give your baby a unique name. So essentially, it is illegal to name your baby something that the German government doesn't think is an appropriate name for a baby, basically. This law honestly frustrates me so much because I always wondered, and this is maybe gonna sound kind of rude, but I just always wondered why everyone in Germany is named a lot of the same things. Like, there are a lot of names in Germany that you hear a lot. And now I know why. It's literally because the German government doesn't allow you to name your kid something that isn't basically a classic normal name. Now, the rules about this law are a little bit weird, and I assume they kind of vary depending on which government office you apply for a name at, but I don't know, it's all a little bit strange and hard to figure out on the internet. But as far as I understand, there's a person who's going to be deciding if the name you've chosen for your baby is appropriate or not, and if they choose it's not appropriate, then you have to pick a different name. And to pick a different name, you have to pay money. So the reason that people usually just choose normal names is because they don't want to get denied and then have to pay to reapply for a different name for their kid. The other thing about this law that I find really frustrating is you're supposed to pick a name that clarifies which gender your baby is. From the reading that I've done about this topic, this depends a lot on which area of Germany you live in and which officer you get deciding if your name is appropriate, but basically they want you to choose a name that clarifies the gender of your baby, which is so ridiculous to me. So you can't choose a gender-neutral baby name. And if you do want to choose a gender-neutral baby name, you have to basically apply at the government to request that the name is okay. Same with names that are foreign names. Like, for example, my name is Neeva. That name would not be allowed here because the German government doesn't recognize that as a normal name. So you'd have to apply and petition the government basically to allow you to use that name. Anyways, it's all really complicated and weird, but I just don't understand why this is a law. It makes no sense to me. People should be allowed to name their baby whatever they want to an extent. I understand not allowing people to name their baby something that's gonna deeply affect their child's well-being, but otherwise it's just stupid to me. I just don't understand why they would do this and basically force everyone to have all the same German names. It's just weird. All right, next up on my list, I have drunk biking. Drunk biking is illegal in Germany, which I find very funny. I actually think that this law does make sense, especially if you're biking in the road where cars are, because just like you can't drive a car when you're drunk, you also shouldn't be driving any vehicle when you're drunk, and maybe you're not endangering yourself necessarily, but you could potentially be endangering other people, because if you swerve into a lane and a car is in that lane, that's going to be a problem. So I actually understand this law and I think it makes sense, at least in Germany. Okay, next up on my list, I have basically just noise. I just wrote noise, in general. On Sundays specifically, you cannot make a bunch of noise. You can't play loud music, you can't play a loud musical instrument, you can't have a party at your house, you can't make a lot of noise, especially if you live in an apartment building. And it's the same for quiet hours. There's quiet hours during different times of the day. I think this varies a lot state to state in Germany, but essentially there are different hours of the day when you're, for example, not allowed to play the piano because that's too loud for those certain hours of the day when you're not allowed to be loud, basically. And definitely never on Sunday. My husband won't even let me vacuum on a Sunday because he thinks the vacuum will be too noisy for our neighbors. So anyways, don't make noise during quiet hours because it genuinely is illegal. Another thing that's illegal in Germany is that you cannot wash your car at home. There's a law about the fact that you have to take your car to a car wash if you want to wash it. There's just a rule about how the soapy water and chemicals aren't allowed to go into the drain system in the street, basically. So just don't wash your car at home because it really is actually illegal. I thought this one was really funny because in the United States, it's super normal to wash your car at home. And I'm sure anyone who's seen American movies and TV shows knows that we even do car washes as like fundraisers for events and stuff. Washing your car at home is super, super normal. Like I have never, I don't think ever in my life been to a car wash. So there you go. It's illegal in Germany to wash your car at home. The next one on my list actually really surprised me, and that is that it is illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn. So you have to make sure always that you have enough gas in your car, which, let's be honest, you should always be doing no matter what. You should always make sure you have enough gas in your car. But if you do run out of gas on the Autobahn, it's illegal and you can really get into serious trouble. So always make sure that you fill up your tank. Next up on my list, I have one that I find really frustrating, which is why I saved it for last. And that is that it is illegal to use du to address a police officer. For anyone who doesn't know, in the German language, we have du and sie, and they're both forms of you. One is a formal form and one is an informal form. Usually people expect you to use sie when you're addressing someone who has authority or superiority to you. So maybe if you're addressing your teacher or an elderly person, you would use sie. And when you're addressing your peer or like your friend or whatever, you would use du. I honestly really dislike the term sie. I just never like using it. I know that the whole idea is that using sie shows that you respect the person that you're talking to, but my feeling is that your actions and the way you speak to someone should show that you respect them. Like I can use sie and then be really rude to someone. So was I respectful because I used sie? No, I was still rude, but I can act like it was out of respect because I used the formal form of you. And I just think that's really silly. So the idea that you can't speak informally to a police officer by using du as you, I think that that's really lame. I know that a lot of people are probably going to be frustrated with me for saying this because a lot of people really disagree with this, but I just never like to use sie. I feel like I'm able to express that I respect somebody without declaring that they have authority or superiority to me, and it's just weird. Like, I don't know. I just think it's better to show that you respect someone by talking to them with respect as opposed to using this formal form of you. But anyway, I know that that's not how a lot of people feel. That's just my opinion on that. All right, everyone, that is all the weird illegal things that I have found here in Germany. I'm sure that there's more, so if you know other ones, please comment below and let me know. And if you really disagreed or agreed with some of my opinions here, feel free to start a little chat in the comment section. I really like hearing what you all have to say, and I'm happy to engage in some conversation with you there. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button so I know that you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!